As we head towards winter, some of the more interesting sort of exotics in the garden start to flower. In particular, Tetrapanax papyrifera rex with these huge sort of palmate leaves that has a rather nice flower spike at the top, which is sort of expanding out and opening up. And sort of nice contrast with the colour, with that lovely light brown indumentum. Also, the Schefflers also tend to flower at this time of year as well. So just that sort of added interest, and good to see the insects sort of buzzing around on them. Some of the last trees to lose their leaves tend to be the sort of smaller, more compact maples. And in particular, as you head down along Radiata Path and down below Alice's Seat, they were deliberately planted to create this lovely sort of autumnal display. The great thing about a lot of these aces, they were also chosen for their sort of winter stem interest. So even if the leaves have dropped as we head towards Christmas, they'll still have that lovely display of those patinated and interesting barks, whether it be the snake barks or the coloured barks, something just to continue interest throughout the winter. There are some fantastic key plants that really shine at this time of year, in particular obviously the Tibouchina I've mentioned before, but I can't help but mention it. It's such a wonderful plant, flowers for several months in a lovely sort of sheltered spot as we head down along Radiata Path. But one of the other key things that we've been very sort of concentrating on, I suppose, over the last few years is making more of some of those sort of feature views into and out of the garden. We've probably highlighted over 60 different viewpoints into and out of the garden, which really just emphasises how these wonderful sort of panoramic views sometimes really create a real spectacle and sort of draw you to other parts of the garden. Fruit and seed pods can often be more dramatic than the flower itself, and one plant that's no exception is the cornus. So this is Cornus capitata, and just above me there's one sort of laden and covered in fruit. People often ask, is the fruit edible? They are. They're not particularly tasty, so I wouldn't advise it. They're pretty tasteless, but very, very striking, and as you can see in their sort of form when they're hanging off the tree. It's also one that naturalises with us as well in the garden, so it seeds itself around and you'll find lots of young plants coming up. So a real bonus if you want to multiply your collection. Another fantastic plant for winter interest, in particular with the berries, is the Calicarpa. You can see these lovely vivid purple berries which look absolutely stunning set against a sort of naked backdrop, and that's really when it comes into its own once the last of the leaves have dropped. This one can be seen just above as we go down on the Davidia walk. The Davidia, or handkerchief tree, has something for all seasons. It has those wonderful limey green leaves in the summer, those beautiful bracts as you go through into May, and a wonderful autumn display as you head through at this time of year, heading through towards sort of October, November. It also has its own natural Christmas baubles, if you like. These wonderful seed pods which are hanging down at the moment really do carry through the winter, so they give that lovely sort of interesting look as you look through the naked branches. It's one of those wonderful plants that really just sort of give, as I say, throughout the year. Another plant that really sort of gives a sort of long flowering season with us at Treba is Drimus winteri. You can see it flowering in the Chilean coombe. There's a huge, huge plant here. Probably one of the very first introductions into the UK, judging by some of the old stems in here. It tends to sort of layer itself around as well. So really, really impressive. And this will go right the way through to the spring. So a really, really long flowering period. Quite a dramatic flower when you get up close to it. Lost a little bit against that foliage, so you need to really explore and discover this one, but really, really pretty. I think sometimes it's nice to appreciate the sort of definition and also the variation of foliage, form and interest in the garden. And bamboo sometimes adds that sort of extra element of contrast, in particular against the lovely Acer behind me. This is Chuscoya afculio. It's a clump former from South America, so it fits in nicely to the Chilean coombe where it's been planted. But as I say, it's quite an upright bamboo as well, so really good for a sort of a smaller space where you don't have so much room. Another lovely early flowering camellia is Camellia Cornish Snow. It has a really sort of pure, clean, very small, delicate flower, light scent as well, and that little sort of pink flush on the back, which just really gives it that little extra touch.